Are you constantly bloated, dealing with acid reflux, or feeling random sharp stomach pains after you eat? What if your food isn't the problem, but invisible toxins are secretly burning away your stomach lining? When most people research how to get fit, they focus entirely on hitting the gym or losing weight, but true health and wellness begins in the very core of your body, your stomach. If you want to live a truly healthy life, you must protect your digestion. Whether you are young and building a healthy lifestyle or focusing on elderly health to prevent ulcers and nutrient deficiencies, protecting your stomach is the ultimate foundation of vitality. Today, we are providing the ultimate health guide. We will expose the top 15 hidden stomach toxins lurking in your water, your environment, and even your healthy food. We will explain exactly where they hide, how they physically destroy your stomach lining, and the best health advice to reduce your exposure. Let's begin. Section 1. Water and environmental toxins. We begin with the environment and the water we drink. The stomach relies on a delicate balance of acid, mucus, and healthy bacteria to function. 1. Tap water chlorine. Where it is found: municipal treated tap water. How it affects the stomach? Chlorine is a chemical designed to kill bacteria in pipes. When you drink it, it does the exact same thing in your stomach, destroying your healthy microbiome and leaving you vulnerable to infections like H. pylori, which causes ulcers. How to reduce? Always use a high-quality carbon water filter for your drinking water. 2. Glyphosate, chemical pesticides. Where it is found: non-organic wheat, oats, and produce. How it affects the stomach? Glyphosate acts as an antibiotic. It degrades the stomach's protective mucosal lining, causing leaky gut and severe systemic inflammation. How to reduce? Wash your produce thoroughly with baking soda and prioritize organic foods when possible. 3. Microplastics. Where it is found: bottled water and plastic food containers. How it affects the stomach? Microplastics create microscopic abrasions and lesions on the stomach wall. They trigger an inflammatory immune response right inside your digestive tract, causing chronic cramping. How to reduce? Store your food and drink your water from glass or stainless steel. 4. Heavy metals like lead and arsenic. Where it is found: contaminated groundwater and old plumbing. How it affects the stomach? These metals irritate the gastric mucosa and actually suppress the production of your natural stomach acid, making it impossible to digest dense proteins. How to reduce? Test your home's water and use a reverse osmosis filtration system. 5. BPA, bisphenol A. Where it is found: the lining of canned foods and store receipts. How it affects the stomach? BPA acts as an endocrine disruptor that heavily inflames the gastric lining, leading to severe indigestion and hormonal imbalances. How to reduce? Buy foods packaged in glass jars, not aluminum cans. Section 2. Chemical additives and preservatives. If you want the best health tips for a healthy lifestyle, you must read your food labels. These synthetic chemicals literally melt your stomach lining. Number 6. Emulsifiers, polysorbate 80 and carrageenan. Where it is found: processed dairy, ice cream, and popular oat milks. How it affects the stomach? Emulsifiers act like chemical detergents. They literally wash away the thick protective mucus layer of your stomach, leaving the raw tissue completely exposed to your own stomach acid. How to reduce? Always check the ingredients on dairy alternatives. Stick to whole, natural foods. Number 7. Artificial sweeteners, sucralose and aspartame. Where it is found: diet sodas, sugar-free gums, and fitness snacks. How it affects the stomach? These zero-calorie chemicals radically alter the stomach's microbiome. They feed toxic bacteria that produce massive amounts of gas, leading to severe, painful bloating. How to reduce? Sweeten your food naturally with raw honey, stevia, or monk fruit. Number 8. Sodium benzoate, preservative. Where it is found: bottled salad dressings, sauces, and acidic drinks. How it affects the stomach? This preservative is highly corrosive to the stomach lining and actively increases your risk of developing painful gastric ulcers over time. How to reduce? Make your own simple dressings at home using olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Number 9. High fructose corn syrup. Where it is found? Almost all ultra-processed snacks and sodas. How it affects the stomach? It ferments rapidly in the stomach, producing gases that build pressure and force the esophageal valve open. This is the hidden root cause of severe acid reflux and GERD. How to reduce? Avoid processed syrups and eat whole natural fruits instead. Number 10. Synthetic food dyes, red 40, yellow 5. Where it is found? Brightly colored candies, cereals, and sports drinks. How it affects the stomach? These petroleum-based dyes irritate the gastric mucosa and disrupt the secretion of vital digestive enzymes, making digestion sluggish and painful. Section 3. Lifestyle and dietary toxins. Some of the most dangerous stomach toxins are the ones we consume as part of our daily habits. Number 11. Over-the-counter painkillers, NSAIDs. Where it is found? Medications like ibuprofen, aspirin, and naproxen. How it affects the stomach? Chronic use of these pills blocks the specific enzymes your body needs to build stomach mucus. Without mucus, your stomach acid literally eats a hole through your stomach wall, causing bleeding ulcers. How to reduce? Use natural anti-inflammatories like turmeric, ginger, and omega-3s. Number 12. Refined seed oils, canola, soybean, and sunflower oil. Where it is found? Fast food, restaurant meals, and fried snacks. How it affects the stomach? These highly unstable, rancid fats cause massive oxidative stress and inflammation in the stomach tissues, leading to chronic gastritis. How to reduce? Cook only with stable, healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, or organic ghee. Number 13. Refined white sugar. Where it is found? Baked goods, pastries, and sweets. How it affects the stomach? Sugar feeds a specific yeast in the stomach called candida. As candida overgrows, it paralyzes the stomach muscles, slowing down gastric emptying and leaving you feeling heavy and lethargic after meals. Number 14. Chronic alcohol excess. Where it is found? Beer, wine, and liquor. How it affects the stomach? Alcohol acts as a direct chemical solvent. It burns the stomach lining on contact and immediately halts the production of digestive juices, making it impossible to absorb nutrients from your food. How to reduce? Practice strict moderation and soothe your stomach by drinking fresh, raw cabbage juice. Number 15. Chronic stress, cortisol. Where it is found? A fast-paced, high-anxiety modern lifestyle. How it affects the stomach? When you are stressed, high cortisol completely shuts down the vagus nerve. Your stomach stops churning, acid production falls to zero, and your food simply sits there and rots. How to reduce? Practice 5 minutes of deep, slow breathing before every single meal to activate your rest and digest nervous system. Your stomach is the engine of your entire body. You cannot simply mask the pain with antacids while continuing to consume the toxins that cause the damage. The best healthy lifestyle tips always start with removing the poison. Filter your water. Read your ingredient labels. Avoid synthetic chemicals, painkillers, and seed oils. Replace them with healthy food like raw cabbage, papaya, and ginger to rebuild your stomach lining and protect your digestion from hidden stress. By applying this health advice daily, you can heal your acid reflux, clear away the bloating, and ensure a strong, vibrant digestive system for a lifetime. If you want to continue building a healthy lifestyle, please subscribe to our channel for more holistic secrets and health tips to your health and your healing. See you next time.